I'm Butch Stearns of the Pulse Network. We're talking with Production Minds. They're a company out of Budapest that offers solutions to producers everywhere. Whether you're a production company, whether you're an independent producer, a streamlined workflow in the creative and production process. David Becker is their Chief Revenue Officer. David, I want to talk to you about how you offer solutions with a series of questions. And let me start with, you do a survey with your clients, a Production Minds survey when you're going to take a project on. How's that work?
Well, I got to tell you, it was more than just a specific survey against a client. We really wanted to understand what production professionals are dealing with today. Sort of like, what are they managing with? What are their challenges? Where do things go right in production? And then where do things go often painfully wrong? What tools are they using? And why are they using those tools? And we have a very, very complex process. Is there a way to somehow make it easier? And then finally, because we start from a software background, is there a way to use software in a way that can really play a larger role in making production more efficient and, may I say, even pleasurable and certainly more creative in terms of the end product?
We do something similar here at the Pulse. We'll work with our clients and work with our partners to do an audit and strategy right at the beginning, a baseline, if you will. And of course, any good house or building starts with a good foundation. In production, that's pre-production. So I would imagine, I'm curious what some of the common pain points or the biggest mistake you've learned from those surveys in the pre-production process.
And so the biggest mistakes in pre-production, number one, right at the top of the list for everybody was partial or poorly communicated information. And that in itself is pretty awful. But what happens is that the crew then has to start making assumptions to fill in the gaps. They have to figure out how to make it work. And so where you start off with bad information, it goes from sort of bad to worse because now they're trying to fill in the gaps.
I'm curious also in this survey, when you mentioned the crew, what's the single most time-consuming thing for a crew?
From a crew's perspective, it's often getting timely decisions circulated. It starts with breaking down that script into the most basic elements, but then it is, we've got a decision, we got to get it out to a client for approval, we got to schedule people. So there are really some really serious issues in terms of scheduling and getting that feedback incorporated from the crew very quickly that a platform, certainly a cloud-based platform, can help.
How can software make a difference?
Well, from our research, it's interesting, and again, universal, 2 out of 3 people saying something like this, that keeping all the production relevant information in one place and easily accessible to the people who need it is really absolutely essential. Get that right, and I'm sure more people will go to bed at night feeling comfortable.
He's David Becker, the Chief Revenue Officer for Production Minds. David, thanks for your time. This is a discussion about the great content shift and about the 2012 NAB show.